You don't know these streets like we do.
Now more than more anyway, that is not why I'm on. Me by a very simple message. You see the people who then did a Twitter there, they talk say, oh, you know, they hear Sarkodie for no reply, and maybe them account for them. What are people talking about? What are people talking about? No. See, Dobi, yes. Somebody go write book, name drop people, prominent people who have families. We sat on social media for about a week. We digested the book. We talked about the book. We say we have subliminal jobs. And dear. Bro, she mentioned names. You have mentioned Kofodi identity their images in the book. Now, when Sarkodie can reply, are you people there they talk say and a Sarkodie for no reply? Where Sarkodie for no reply? When has Sarkodie never replied? What are you people talking about? When has he never replied? You just mentioned all the time that he replied. It is important that if you come out, then come reply, then make you for such a thing straight. I don't have any problem. Maybe the slut shaming bits, no. Then we go have conversation around them, say, Charlie, let's tackle the issue. But once again, you don't trigger someone to engage the person's response. You don't trigger someone. You can't tell Sarkodie how you for react. Make you people show the hypocrisy and the nonsense. What name drop is Sarkodie, and Sarkodie has come out to reply. Let us deal with the issues. If you are not cool with how Sarkodie was talking about how you suck dick Nissan man, that is fine. But even that one self, but Yvonne Nelson releasing, you were cool with it. You people on social media writing think pieces. Sarkodie replied, oh, Sarkodie be too big for this. Too big for what? Please, let's be serious. As the principal of Violence Senior High School, this is what I live for.
Now drop the anthem. Let them know the anthem.
You serious? You serious? I can't reply. Wait, do you know how long we have waited for this reply?
Let them know.
Sarkodie in brand. You they can't teach what you go by. They can't teach Sarkodie how to brand himself. What about them? He has been relevant for 10 years. You think Yvonne Nelson's book is the one going to drag him down? Make two people show that thing for them. What are you talking about? You need to bring content in the head. If Sarkodie hadn't replied, you think we will be on this page? Please, let us all respect ourselves. Let us tackle the issue. Let us dissect the issue. The reply is needed. It is good. Sarkodie family, you get pickings. Do you know if you keep quiet and go, silence means what? Consent. Silence also means, bro, and perform come and to me, bro, your mouth order on this man. What are you talking about? Let him reply. Sarkodie and why relevant. And you Yvonne Nelson book no man in ton cassette. Man streaming. This song no go do anything to him. This Yvonne Nelson issue no go do anything to him. So don't sit there and sit in that hypocrisy here and Sarkodie is this. Bro, we don't care, bro. You can't teach Sarkodie branding. Unim branding a branding.
Yes, listen, these are things I thought I was going to take to the grave, and I was never going to speak about it. But so what can they are? Then it's right. That means maybe comedy. And he makes mention of the fact that yes, he admits that yes, we had a relationship. Yes, there was an abortion, but what gets Sarkodie peeved and I say angry is the fact that you pin it on him to make it look like Sarkodie has at that time now in your BR and his future was uncertain until he didn't even know what to do. So he was the reason in Tia or cause abortion. When in fact that's not the situation because per what Sarkodie is saying in the song, and yet may maintain or cause abortion because for me I even told you to keep it. Even when I realized that, or also allegedly, even when I realized that you were not a trophy, when you be like I could keep, because I realized that too many people were also moving out with you and all that. No, I still says, okay, let's keep it. You insist to say you knew somebody who could actually, you need a friend who could actually run things with you. And I told you, said, let's go and see my doctor. Even with that, you still said no. So it means that right from there, Sarkodie was not even setting, say, pregnancy now, because it's that he wanted to pin him down. And we've heard so many stories of people pinning others down with their friends and cases of pregnancy. And it gets to a point where they only get to find out, say, in chronic but after several years. Do you get it? And in this country and even everywhere around the world, there's no way, say, what should be for a number of years thinking a crying your bar, and then later on you realize that DNA proves crash are crying your bar. All those monies you spent and all that are things that can never be refunded. The laws will not even allow that. You can't pay that thing back. So for Sarkodie, all this well, exactly. I mean, the laws wouldn't even allow that. You ain't even say, okay, oh, boy, carry into your back. No, because he did it. Kweku, a court and the law courts will not even enforce that. You know, so there are some of these things. I think Sarkodie's main point in there was establishing, say, I was not the cause for the abortion. You decided to do that, and then that was fine by me. When I even asked you to keep it, you said, whoa, school in tea. But you see, let's not forget, in the book, Yvonne Nelson made us understand, say, Sarkodie was living with the mom. And so it's like, as at that time, Sarkodie knew be like, Jack, you know, holding the future. Holding the future. But Sarkodie is also making us understand that the main reason in TI he wanted to do that abortion was because abortion, which is being the dent on Sarkodie. Then that's where he also felt there was the need for him to explain. So for me, like I said, in one breath, I felt say it wasn't necessary. But in the other breath, which of course for Sarkodie's brand and all the conversations, Obio TME on radio last week, Friday, I think I was with Mr. Bones. And I said it on radio, clearly said, listen, Sarkodie was the selling point for the book. You see, Yvonne was strategic. At the end of the day, what was the reason for the book? It's business. And you see, as business, Kweku, if you want to do a radio program, if you want to do something, there's always that catch point which you want to hit hard on. Oh, yes, Street is watching freestyles. There's a portion of the freestyler who can now post him. Why do you post that part? Because there's some fire there, so people will tend to come and watch. There are moments artists be posting snippet of Ninyum, and then you listen to the snippet like, yo, this is fire. Sorry to say, perhaps it's whack. Do you get it? So there's a reason why Yvonne and the team decided to push that narrative first. Now let me tell you something. When you look at the Sarkodie bit of the friends of the book, obviously you know the brand Sarkodie, and you see, for me, Sarkodie said he was going to write a book, the highest or something. I'm even disappointed. Said so now the book is not out because the name Sarkodie, it's a selling point. It's a big thing that by now Kawaii. And unfortunately, the name has actually sold Sarkodie for friends, Yvonne Bokno. The Yaya factor, you realize that Yaya didn't even know, say, perhaps he was also covered in the book. Until the thing started flying online, and he also tapped into it. Again, he also wanted to use it for an national album, Very Easy. So he tapped into it and started pushing it from that angle.
But anyway, there's another part of the book I think we should also pay attention to. Who say or can say Yvonne can say Sarkodie de niko see, one manager de niko see hospital ho no mudwane.
Okay, also mudwane
ho. So and that part, to most of the women or to most people that are siding with Yvonne, that is one of the parts, because apart from the abortion being one thing, Omaka says Sarkodie instigated that makes them want to hate Sarkodie. The other one that will make you really want to hate Sarkodie or have something negative towards Sarkodie would be the fact that Okuja or Bar one in Anyam as hospital, no way done, now one teneka. You know, so that means that with Sarkodie's song right now, it means that thing didn't even happen.
I said, they will come and doctor, or you say you won't go. So you have your own friend, and also so it looks like he wasn't even there with you, and you're on the call. That's how it is beginning to look like. And you're on the call. But now it's just a story of the two of them. We say, oh, they make maybe to make the thing sensational and to have you to blame. The other party says, when you wanted today, I told you not to do it. It could also be that even I was under duress. I was under duress. I went against my own will because I didn't want you to be there. Into whatever happens under duress, there are moments there's an excuse for it and there's a defense for it. Ubo be signed contract under duress. The contract can be deemed, your friend saying, unenforceable by law. What you say?
Okay, so
What
did that incident
sign
happen?
contract?
But so did that event happen? Is here?
So,
And
and I make for now a story of two of them because Sarkodie wasn't explicit on that. Yvonne Nekanye, but Sarkodie didn't come out to talk about that incident. There, either some of the Oko and Abijaya and Abiba, he understands or he agrees that yes, there was an abortion. But then again, even with the abortion crowd, he says he wasn't too sure. Do you get it? That's why he wanted his doctor to be in there to know about it. But he says no, because you see, if there's funny say the challenge is that in most instances, when some of these things happen, hardly will the guy go with the lady to go and have that thing done. Most of the time, it's the lady who goes in to go get it done, and then the guy doesn't really care, sort of. Do you get it? So it's very difficult to say, Sarkodie bedine chine na kwa akoye. Now, it only happens in instances where perhaps they are married couples and maybe due to, particular issues in health issues, which is allowed, they can go and have an abortion. And you're a health issue. So on fans bed driving then when the thing is done, or then a year befi. But in a situation where and plan a motoring and all that, hardly will a guy follow a lady, so the nekwa abortion or side befi. It to me it doesn't sound right. Do you get it? So, like I'm saying, Sarkodie did not establish that in the song. But Yvonne Mom established, she say, this is it. But like I said, to be able to sell, there are moments you need to be a bit sensational. You need to bind the sensationality, though. You need to make sure that it is true. Because from the beginning, people said that Sarkodie could sue Yvonne Nelson for.
In fact,
No, can I
some
speak?
bit from an A&R perspective, why? Lemotemenka,
Beto nka this year.
Palago, and you plot, it shows exactly say assembly and yet a recent Skybar issue a recent because we share the build up
13 years ago no
of the whole context. I don't know say 13 years ago Krana Skybar into a very recent too. We share how he broke it down into bars from that time now plotting the song no poka kind of hey let me say second verse no me boy.
Second verse no can
yes, that's how music is done. So you build it up to the end. Now I follow a certain sequence. Sequentially, from a music A&R perspective, you realize that situation is recent.
It's recent.
Yes,
perfect, very recent. Yes,
and also, what I want to say is like the whole thing goes beyond the instances that happened during that particular time. From my perspective, I think the whole thing stands firm on respect. What you say? So we be as Obadrimba no. You need to consider both sides. See, I know situation to say nipa kona o kwa ne chem so no sebi ono so the situation to say how you guys able to meet each other halfway say na be ya enkofa wantwi biamba. The mecha what you say. That's what Yvonne was supposed to think about when she was writing the book. She should have looked at the caliber of person that Sarkodie is, and understood. Say, at the end of all starting, it would bring like this whole thing we are going through right now. She should have known because can't say anyway. There are certain details but those little ingredients and I said those little condiments and those little details were semnuno. And a semnu enya fapim. Mpacho de meche what I say. But so we ignore the little bit that content to make money. And then remember DSPs about streaming sites. And also the tool the strongest thing to him, no, which is music, no, and the ability to rap and be audible and sound okay on a somewhat an ambiguous chorus that will throw you off and all of that, using all those elements. No, so by the about two DSPs, no, so I'm on streaming, I'm on so mechanical royalties, no performance royalties, or he's on tour. Just imagine Ojina stage soon as you raise this annual winner say or tour, how the fans are going to respond to it. It's going to bring in money. So the whole thing goes like there's a whole lot of things like intertwined in this whole thing. So let's not just look at it from personal points of view and nah. It's not one sided. It's a whole. It's coming from all angles. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, Sarkodie is a brand. Like there's a lot of people that feed off of his brand. And to say, if you place a dent on his image, it affects his people. It affects his family, the people that work with him, his roadies. How do you call it? Um, Booking agents that work with him worldwide, the record labels that he worked with, distribution wise, publishing wise, like it affects a whole lot of things. You should have looked at all of these things before even, because with the one book per person will sell it or Amazon, your friend is saying bestseller. Now the Bible denti obini image we're building it for over 10 years. Why you consistent now? You don't do that.
Mr.
You don't do
Slim.
that.
Mr.
You don't
Slim.
do that.
Richie, wrap it up
Me
enough.
You cannot blame Sarkodie for his reaction because there was an action to that whole reaction. And no one can blame Yvonne's reaction too because there was an action to that reaction. People going to bring out the music that Sarkodie has done in the past. Maybe people close to Yvonne that know whatever happened, no, are going like, what yes, maybe Sarkodie can say. Because she knows what has happened, no, on who say a chino, Sarkodie can say tiano. But we don't know. We are saying Sarkodie may bad, but we don't know what's going on. I said it to you. She's healing because she's literally committed an abortion. She's killed a whole seed or whatever.
13 years ago. 13 years ago.
Please, DJ, let me be honest. Let me give you an example. I'm gonna put me here. I've also had an experience about something. It's not about abortion. Excuse me.
It's about abortion.
You did that. You caused that abortion.
How did you
I've had an experience about something pertaining to my life as I was growing up.
Abortion.
And you'll be okay. And I'm 28. I'll be 29 this year. And what we are talking about was 15 years ago. If I tell you
It's
I hold
abortion.
it onto my, you'll be fine. If I tell you that DJ Slim is 15 years ago. If I tell you that I hold it onto my dad, you go like, oh, why am I doing that? Ashemi. There's sometimes I go like, oh, move on, let it go. She chooses to heal according to when she wants to heal. Let's just understand that right now. As to how she has done it, we can't go and slaughter her. We will talk and talk and talk. Right now, I'm not even bullshitting nobody. Right now, you might never know. Tweet no church on the car. That she's asking, why am I even doing this? Why did I even bring the book out? Nobody knows. And then when it comes to the book aspect, maybe I relationship when you break up with someone and they ask you, oh, what happened? Oh, he told me that you guys were fighting. No. Sometimes I'm gonna go like, is that what he told you? Because there is more to whatever happened. To be very honest, we don't know what the more was right now. And they would not come out to give us the more. There are two creative people in different industries. One is in the acting industry, one is in the music industry. However, the operate is different. Just like you watching movies, someone writes the script and then it's played out or is acted out. Yvonne is telling us how she feels in her best way she can ever make us understand, which is writing it and maybe play it in your mind as if someone is acting it. This person is coming from a place where she does not even have a father figure in her life for starters. She doesn't have love. And I feel like based on Oda Unya Wanabrabuminti, why you're from Fumo baby, like she's made mistakes, and she's not saying she's not made mistakes. She's acknowledged it. I'm sure she's healing. I'm sure she's also righting the wrongs. She is literally doing it. Don't get me wrong. So is Sarkodie also coming from that same like part. Sarkodie didn't get up like, excuse me to say, like Davido. Sarkodie also had his rocky moments, and he's where he is now. He's also healing, but just like he hasn't written a book for us to know, or he hasn't come out to say it. I don't know if anyone is getting me. Now, Yvonne is Yvonne. Sarkodie is Sarkodie. But I feel like some people, or I won't even say everybody, I feel like some people are not understanding this whole thing to go ahead on like this whole thing. You cannot blame Sarkodie for his reaction because there was an action to that whole reaction. And no one can... As an empath, I understand where Yvonne is coming from. Please hold on. You can bash me later. As an empath, I understand where Yvonne is coming from. Because some people haven't read the book. I fall victim to that. I have read up to page 43. And I've been sleeping every time I read that book. But the main place that I read is the page 96. Because that was everywhere on social media. And from what I understood in that aspect, I don't think Yvonne is upset about the fact that she got pregnant. Neither is she upset about the fact that she has aborted it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think she's upset about the fact that after she did it, Michael didn't even reach out to her or check up on her like, hey, are you okay? Are you good? Da, 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 da. And the third. Unless I'm wrong. Because according to what she wrote, that's where I actually get the whole like issue from right now in that book or in that page. Now, I understand where she's coming from with that one. And some ladies over here are going to go like they don't understand. But believe you me, women are very sensitive when it comes to stuff. Even breakup, I wouldn't need Jaya. I'll say you have to ask, hey, how are you holding up? Are you okay? Like no lady here can say she's not felt that before. It's a woman thing. I then understand Sarkodie also from an empathic point of view. Because hey, let's be very honest, Sarkodie is Sarkodie. We all know we don't see no wrong. You can't do Sarkodie anything bad in anyone's eyes because Sarkodie is not in that like line, right? But then again, he's a guy. People are gonna come at him like, oh Charlie, the way you are, da 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 da. Business is gonna come. He has kids, he has a wife, he has family, he has in-laws, like he's also going to get a lot of questions. I
28.
Me, I think that we're making a fuss about really nothing. And just like KA, I just want to respond to those saying that Sarkodie is slut shaming, Sarkodie is doing this, Sarkodie womanhood. When I read Yvonne's tweet, I was like, oh God, that's a cop out. There we go again, playing the womanhood card. That's such a victim's response. It's an easy way. Like those are the cards victims play. Make it about, hey, either you are a bigot, you are slut shaming, you are anti-feminist, blah 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 blah. You mentioned the young man's name, and I'm not even holding brief for Sarkodie. I'm not supporting Sarkodie. Neither am I supporting Yvonne. It's just that I was disappointed with Yvonne's tweet in response to Sarkodie's rap. Watch your book. What can ask him? Sarkodie, Ghana for a drag is Sarkodie. Omo be defending so defending na. And on so I responded. I feel no nkojene ho say okay, the me can ebe hama nyina na ana em hama nyina na. To no Sarkodie that time no, Yvonne was it the man to say a Cuban link. And like the KA said, oh no, Miss Wenya jackpot. And of finding things out. Yes, the abortion thing, Yvonne has the right to be hurt, whether by the abortion or the treatment after or whatever it is. And she expressed that. Sarkodie aba. What do you honestly opinion aba? I feel I'm about when I Sarkodie and a slut shaming and a womanhood and I'm disappointed and shower, you know, now it's any painful way, and anybody say, Yvonne, yeah. You know, calling a woman, oh, yeah, shower now, it's lame now, it's, you know, it's really nothing now. And you guys say, Yvonne, yeah. But clearly, Usha Yvonne tweets now. Yeah. So every action will beget an action, a reaction. That is what it is. Media, the American say, if Yvonne is so hurt, or Yvonne thinks that the Sarkodie can or for the streets, excuse my language, guys were, you know what he said. You guys can go and listen to the lyrics again if you haven't or if you've forgotten. But Yvonne Fanko court. Because anyway, they were defaming Wabubodi, were calling the names. You are for the street. They were on Fanko court, Enkocha court. Because me say way back and forth. I actually want to see it. Because I'm a real court. Nieko prove it. Say, obi a defame you, obi ana na malice. Was there malicious intent? And I said, but sir, and a woman would I Sarkodie so any pony feelings. Sarkodie and Yvonne knows on himself or the womanhood, you know, it will a bit rousy feminists for and that is why she did that. And that for me is a cop out, honestly. It's like, I mean, what is this? You know, those tactics are lame now. Wababe can't say, respond to him, Michael. Say any, oh, say any. Don't say that. Don't link it to womanhood because Sarkodie also can say what is popular is your truth. We are on the truth. Sarkodie also can the truth. Sarkodie also doesn't have the right to say his truth. What? Because he's a man. Because he's a man.
Miss BKB.
Sarkodie hasn't hurt women. Sarkodie was addressing Yvonne Nelson. So more baby and funny feelings and message. Or more no. As some now responding to that person has nothing to do with other women. And we should be able to accept that and move on. But then I make 20 seconds now, 20 seconds I brought so but I say court. It say Yvonne is you. Sarkodie. On you no. Our court and someone who can say a man no call banny at the end.
You don't know these streets like we do.
We